Welcome back, everybody. This is X-Wing RLJ, continuing my Subnautica walkthrough on the PS5. If you remember when we went to the Aurora wreckage right there, there was some radio messages I started off that video with and said we'd come back to the one that started the timer. And this is it. We'll start off by playing that message for you again.
Aurora, we're approaching the planet now. We have a landing site for you that's... well, it's better than the alternatives. We've sent you the coordinates. It'll take us a couple of days to align our orbit. Should be able to establish direct contact with you during that time. Then we're coming in to get you. Cross your fingers, the weather holds. Don't leave us waiting. Sunbeam out.
So that message gave us another waypoint. This one will be the landing site of the Sunbeam, which is coming to rescue us. Or me, you. Obviously, since only one person plays this game, and you're going to be the only survivor, so first thing you want to do is make sure you're taking everything with you that you're going to need. We will be going to the other island that I've mentioned a few times before. No, that's the wrong walker. There we go. I gotta get closer. There we go. So you want to make sure you take your purple tablet. You'll find another purple tablet or two there, but it's better to have it just in case. So there's no rhyme or reason, nothing special to get there. Just make a beeline for the waypoint. That's not the right waypoint. It's over there to the left. There it is. Looks a little arrow pointing at a line, pointing down at a line. So just make a beeline for that. It's going to be on the island. If you coming up on it and the island seems to be on the left side of your ship instead of the right, you want to turn around and follow that island around the other side. On the right side of the island is another Reaper Leviathan. Now it probably won't mess with you if you're right up next to the island, but you don't want to be on the wrong side of the island anyway. So you'll go through the seaweed forest again. Oh, and spoiler alert, if you don't want to see cutscene type story progression, then you want to make sure you do the rest of this on your own for this island. It's pretty straightforward. You're just going to explore the island, explore the building. Just make sure you're back outside before the timer gets down. By the time the timer is down to 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes. So now that the spoiler warning has been given, I'm going to walk you through this island. If you don't want to see what's going to happen story-wise until you play it, then this is where you need to stop. Now this is where I tend to hang out when I'm waiting on the Sunbeam. No rhyme or reason for it. You can pretty much wait wherever you want. You're not going to get smashed by the ship as it lands or anything. So now there are those little four-legged crab, geometric square crabs on this island as well. So just make sure you've got your knife handy, unless you plan to just run past them. There's the purple tablet. Go ahead and pick that up. You see, this looks like some sort of alien facility, alien construction. Alien to us, maybe home to them. I mean, we are on their planet. So since there's more than half an hour, there's Life Pod 12 over there, we're going to visit that in the next video. I think. Maybe the video after. And there's another crap. Anyhow, since there's a half hour, I'm going to show you around the island. There's a cave system in here, as you can see here. It's got some of that alien tech built in running through it. You will want your scanner. There's 1 or 2 things in here to scan. This island is kind of like a smorgasbord when it comes to materials. Typically, you know, your limestone type materials, titanium, copper, that kind of stuff that typically in the first 100 meters of water, and then make sure you don't fall down there. If you fall down there, well, if you don't land in the water, you're dead. If you land in the water, you've got to find your way out, and without the sea moth, you could easily run out of oxygen before you do that. Anyhow, so be careful of that. As I was saying, the material is a little bit deeper. Shale and lithium right there. They're usually deeper, 2 to 400 meters, maybe down to 500 or 600 meters as well, depending where you're at. But on this island, you can find a lot of those deeper materials right up here, both in this cave on the surface and on the sides of the island underwater and in the caves underwater. So this is as long as you're in the caves, there's no aggressive creatures except those crabs. If you're in the water along the sides of the mountains, you do run the risk of, on the one side of the island, the Raper Leviathan. Here's another piece of alien tech. Go ahead and scan that one. Insert ion cube. I don't have an ion cube, at least not yet. So, not sure what that's for at this point. In any case, back to what I was saying, on the one side of the island you got the Reaper Leviathan, on the other side of the island there are both sharks and warpers, and you haven't seen a warper yet, at least not in my videos. You may have seen it in other people's videos or on a wiki website, or looked it up yourself somewhere. But in my game, my videos, you haven't yet seen a warper, and I'll discuss those in one of the upcoming videos where we'll actually see one. But as long as you've got to keep an eye out for those while you're searching for materials on the side of the island underwater. But for the most part, it's a relatively safe area, and it's a good place for some of the they're rarer for you at this point, because they're the deeper water materials typically, but they're not really rare, but they are harder to get at this point in the game. Later we're going to see them all over the place, but at this point, this is a great place to get some of those harder to get materials, just to get you to that next level of crafting, or at least very close to it. Very soon here, I'm going to be taking you to go for a ruby hunt, because we need rubies for our sea moth depth module upgrade, our last one, and for some of the other equipment that we need. So we want to make sure we get some rubies for those. We're also going to need them later for Cyclops and prawn upgrades as well. So definitely got to make sure we go get those. But that's going to be 2 or 3 videos from now. There is one spawn point that I know of out by LifePod 12, and you'll see that in the next video that has it. Now you probably don't need to see me harvesting all these materials, so I'm going to fast forward this until we get back outside. Typically, I wouldn't have subjected you to my material hunting. You guys know how to do that already. But since I was already at the island and I was already recording, I just just kept it going. Sped it up though, so you wouldn't have to waste so much of your time watching me do that. Don't worry, I'm going to be cutting out like 20, 30 minutes of the wait, for the timer. Well, not 20, 30 minutes, but 15, 20 minutes, just because I'll have showed you everything on this island that I need to show you, and then I have to wait for the Sunbeam. So I'll cut out the big chunk of waiting so that you're not wasting your time here. Anyhow, so my inventory is full, so I threw as much as I could in the CMOS inventory, spare inventory, whatever you call it. And I'm going to move my CMOS a little closer to the facility. As you can see, this facility is actually pretty extensive. You can see it goes way down there, and that's not even half of it. So there's a lot here that you haven't seen yet, and you will. Now, there's several of these alien facilities on the planet, and you're going to have to go to each of them. Each one will give you a trophy. There's a broken purple tablet. And now you can see what the tablets are for. Scan that right quick, add it to entry to our data pad. And then you're going to use your purple tablet there. And that's going to shut down that force field door right there to the left, allowing you entrance to this alien facility.
Scans indicate this structure is composed of a metal alloy with unprecedented integrity. No match is found in database. Performing structural analysis.
Now, I know this place looks a little eerie, sounds a little eerie with all the echoey footsteps. Data terminal, you can scan that.
Unknown language. Attempting translation.
But don't worry, there are no aggressive creatures in here. I don't even think there's any
Your best probability
mild-mannered, quiet, calm, peaceful creatures. And here's an ion cube. We got a couple of these in here. Grab that. Another data terminal up ahead, and another ion cube right here. Make sure you grab all the ion cube. You're gonna need some later. Well, you won't need them, but you'll save yourself time if you have more, if you have much now. So
attempting translation.
You'll need some ion cubes, but you don't have to grab these ones. There's going to be an ion cube generator where you need it, but every time you mine it, it gives you a couple at a time, and you have to wait for it to respawn. So it's just better to have a bunch of them on you, or not on you, but have a bunch of them already. You don't want to take them with you to the depths when we go down deep. So this here is kind of like a moon base, sort of. We are underwater here. As far as outside the facility goes. You can drive your Seamoth, maybe even your Cyclops in here. I'm pretty sure the Cyclops will fit in here. And later on, and I'll let you know when, but later on it might be actually a good idea to park a Seamoth in there. Another ion cube. And you go up these ramps. It's pretty straightforward. There's only one way through. So if you seem like you've hit a dead end, it means you passed the doorway. So just head back and look for the wall, the exits on the walls. Another purple tablet. So between that tablet and the one that you found outside, you don't need any more. So you didn't absolutely have to bring that other purple tablet. Scan that. But if you didn't walk around the island first, then you'd end up being short one tablet. Another force field up here.
Scans indicate the facility's control room lies beyond this doorway.
Another place to put a purple tablet. So we'll open up another force field with this tablet. And the force field gone. Go ahead, head through. Nothing else in here, down here, but there is this up here. And this is the first kind of activity we've seen. Crap, that looked like a thick needle.
Broadcasting a message. Translation reads, "Warning, infected individuals may not disable the weapon. This planet is under quarantine."
That needle looked a lot thicker than it was. It didn't leave no hole in your arm and your suit.
Translating background broadcast. Downloading summary to databank.
But that implication is that you are infected, which kind of makes sense. You know, as you think back to all the animals we've seen with the green dots on them, look like an infection. That there's another alien projection, but there's no place for a data cube on that one, which means it's going to be open somewhere else. Little carless elevator. Head on up. I've got this on double speed again, so don't freak out if your guy isn't moving as fast as mine. In any case, we're done inside the alien facility. At some point in here, I don't know if it's when you first come in or if it's down towards the bottom end of it where you got stuck with the needle, but at some point in there you'd get the trophy for finding this facility. Okay, so I'm headed back to that alien device that we found earlier that needs an ion cube. Since we didn't have one then, we didn't touch it, but now I've got a couple, so I'm going to head back to it and see what it does. Here we are. Thing pops out. Let's put the ion cube in it. Well, if that isn't a green Stargate device, I don't know what is. Interesting. Well, this is not the same cave we were just in. Let's take a look around, see what we got here. Not much. There's no crabs, it doesn't look like. Okay, so that looks like the lagoon on the interior of the floating island. We're a good distance away from where we were, I think. Yeah, we're 2,300 meters away from where we were. This thing took us and teleported us more than 2 miles away to the floating island. That's interesting. Now, obviously I've played this before, so I knew about it, but I couldn't find this cave before. Number one, I could never remember where these caves are, on the other end of the teleport line. And number two, it wouldn't have mattered because you can't turn this thing on from this side anyway. So it wouldn't have helped to teleport or to try and find this teleporter when we came to the floating island earlier. However, if you've made it to this point without going to the floating island, then this is definitely the time to explore it. Well, not right now. After the timer in our storyline progress, after the timer runs out and you see what's going to happen, then you'd want to go back and explore the floating island. Because if you haven't, then you're definitely missing out on some stuff over there. So I'm going to head up here. I'm going to get on top of that little mountain thing right here in front of us, and then I'm going to edit out the next 13 minutes or so. Okay, readjust. Chips coming from the sky, so I'm going to look in the sky. And my commentary is done until this story element is done, so don't worry, my voice didn't cut out. I'm just not talking.
Survivor, we see you. Man, I don't know how you held out down there. We broke an atmosphere, and we're descending towards the landing site. Is that a building down there? What do you mean you can't identify it? Hold on. No turning back now. Positions, everyone. Touching down at 10, 9, 8. It's coming from the building? Change course. Set thrusters to full.
Okay, so I know the first time I saw this surprised the heck out of me. I gave you the spoiler warning, so don't get mad at me. That wasn't a building after all, was it? Although I was kind of glad that wasn't the end of this, because it kind of would have made for a really short game, and I keep mentioning us going down deep, and we haven't done that yet, so that alone should have been a clue that this wasn't the end of it. But yeah, I did not expect that to be a gun. I figured there'd be something else to go wrong to make you stay here a little longer, make you go down, dive deeper, but I wasn't expecting that to turn into a gun and shoot him out of the sky. That's it for this one. You can see the timer's gone. I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.